Welcome back. Well, it seems we've been over everything in Undertale by now, so I guess it's time to... As I was saying, we've barely touched the tip of the iceberg. There's a ton of mysteries in Undertale, and a lot of them have been left unexplained, perhaps intentionally. While I can't promise to provide the exact answer to all of these, as there likely is none, I'll do my best to count them down and theorise any possible explanation. Anyhow, here's my top 4 mysteries still yet to be resolved in Undertale. Wait, what do you mean the title says 5? That can't be right, there isn't a... We all know what determination is, right? It's how inspired we are to do something. For example, I was very determined to get my hands on an official Sanz figure, so I ordered one months in advance. However, in the world of Undertale, determination isn't quite so simple. It seems to be a trait that only humans possess, rather than an emotional state like it is in the real world. Apparently, it allows humans to reset time and come back from death. Now I know I can't do that, though I don't know about you. Therefore, human souls are infinitely more powerful than monsters, as monster souls lack the physical matter to hold any significant amount of determination. So, what happens when you give a monster determination? Surprisingly, something quite horrific. Alphys attempted to do this using a strange device in a lab called the Determination Extractor, taking determination from the human souls that had been captured before injecting monsters with it. Rather than persisting past death like a human might, the monsters deformed and melted before fusing together and becoming the abominations known as the Amalgamates. While the physical matter explanation doesn't make much sense, it seems that's that then. Monsters are incapable of possessing determination. Or are they? When fighting Undyne, she clings on past what should be her death. Does this mean Undyne has determination? If so, how? Also, what part of monsters rejects determination? Even a flower can take an injection of it and come to life, which is what created Flowey. The actual properties of determination are vague at best. What it's capable of, who possesses it and why, is unclear. All we know for sure is that the player seems to have the most of this stuff, and can use it to help them complete the game in whatever way they see fit. I've also seen it speculated that Sanz takes a dose of it before fighting you on the genocide run, but we'll look more into that later. The annoying dog is Toby Fox's self-insert within the world of Undertale. It made its first appearance as far back as the trailer for the game that debuted on Kickstarter. While it's common enough for developers to put a cameo of themselves in their games, the annoying dog has a strangely recurring presence throughout Undertale. If we don't include the phone call with Toriel, the first encounter we have with it is during the fight with Papyrus, where it steals his special attack. Yeah, that's right, get out of here. The annoying dog has a habit for appearing when it's least welcome, only to then steal something. It steals Toriel's phone, Papyrus' special attack, and it even steals from us. When we go to retrieve the legendary artifacts hidden in Waterfall by Undyne, it sneaks into our inventory before escaping and stealing the artifacts within the room. Well, thanks. So the question is, what the heck exactly does a dog need with the supposedly legendary artifacts? I know it doesn't look like much more than a bowling ball, but still, I want it back. I decided to hunt down the dog, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Even by the end of the game, I still hadn't found any trace of the annoying dog. It turns out that its secret lair is hidden within Snowdin, and is only accessible if you manage to dodge all of the Kickstarter credits after the end of the True Pacifist run. Here we discover Toby Fox, aka the annoying dog, lazing about rather than making Undertale 2. Now, if we attempt to fight the annoying dog, we discover that we can't as its blanket needs patching. I talked about this in a little more detail in one of my earliest videos, so I won't go into the details of the room too much. However, the annoying dog undeniably creates a huge list of mysteries. What was the legendary artifacts and what did it do? What would Papyrus' special attack have looked like if it wasn't stolen? And finally, will we ever get to fight the annoying dog? Guess we'll just have to wait for that patch. It isn't a complete mystery as to what happened to the 6 humans who fell into the underground before you. Their coffins lie within the basement of Asgore's home, and by the time we come to fight him, it's more than apparent that their souls are within the Monster King's possession. Now, what is a mystery, however, is the specifics of what happened to these humans and who they were before death. We know that Asgore declared war on humanity, but who actually killed the 6 humans who fell down? Could the fact that we find their belongings in different zones indicate the fates of these fallen humans? For example, in Snowdin Shop we can purchase the manly bandana and glove. which once presumably belonged to the soul of bravery. Maybe Sanz killed this human before making his promised tutorial. In a similar fashion in Hotland we find a frying pan and apron. Maybe Metaton before his Showstar days dealt with this one. And in Waterfall we find not only a dusty tutu and ballet shoes, but a torn notebook and my cloud. When fighting an empowered Flowey, he uses the weapons the souls once used against us. This confirms that the belongings were indeed once the property of the 6 humans. For example, the knives seen here are clearly in reference to the toy knife found in the ruins. What actually took place for the souls of the humans to end up within the Monster King's hands is extremely unclear. As for who the humans are, well, that's also a mystery. There truly is no concrete answer within the game, but we can come up with plenty of theories. I'd like to make some more extensive videos on the subject in the future, but for now, you can check out one of my very first theories for a potential answer. Though remember, it's purely speculative and I was only having a bit of fun. I don't believe it's the true answer, though I'm not sure if we'll ever know what the true answer is. Sanz is responsible for so much confusion and mystery within the game that I made an entire video dedicated to him. If you want to check that out, just click here. I'll attempt to bullet point all the unexplained things about him just now, and come up with my own answers on the fly, though many things about Sanz are kept in the dark. First and foremost, can Sanz teleport? It seems so. Here, he's seen shifting between 2 points on the same screen instantaneously, and his shortcuts are more than a little questionable. Therefore, is Sanz teleporting, and if so, how? Sanz seems to have a connection to science. Perhaps it's some sort of device he uses, or just a type of powerful magic. We know he's extremely powerful judging by the fight with him at the end of the genocide run. While in Grillby's, does Sanz stop time? This could be explained as just emphasis being placed on the scene, but who knows with this quirky skeleton? On the subject of how powerful he is, just how exactly did he become so strong? I think many players would agree he's one of the hardest, if not by far the hardest boss encounter in the entire game. It could just be for gameplay reasons, but if it's not, how is he more powerful than Azrael with the equivalent of 7 human souls? Why are the energy blast attacks he uses called Guster blasters? Does he have a connection to Guster? Is there a reason why these skulls bear resemblance to the Determination Extractor, Gift Trot, Omega Flowey and Azrael's Hypergonor attack? Does Sanz have telekinesis, considering that he can throw us around the bullet board like we're a lead weight? How is Sanz able to monitor the timelines? When he says our reports, who are the our he's referring to? Is it Alfie's? Is it Guster? Or does Papyrus just so happen to be a psychic who can peer into the future? What's going on in Sanz's secret room? What's this strange broken machine behind the curtain do? What does the illegible writing on the blueprints say? Is it in Wingdings? Who are the photos of the people you don't recognise in the drawers? What does Sanz's badge symbolise? There's so many questions and hardly any answers. It's almost as if we're not supposed to know and Sanz is keeping a dark secret away from us. Guster is easily one of the biggest secrets in a video game. For a long time, no one even realised he existed before players started to dig into the game's files, just like Toby did when he made ROM hacks all those years ago. Creepily enough, many things within Undertale can be argued to connect to this character in some way or another. By tampering with a value within the game's files called fun, we can access secret areas supposedly cut from the game. I won't beat around the bush though. These areas weren't really cut in the slightest. Toby has gone out of his way to make an incredibly complex mystery. In Snowed In we can listen to the sound test, which consists of some very basic tunes not heard within the game, and one that stands out in particular, labelled Guster's theme. Even further tampering and we come across these incredibly strange grey monsters dubbed Guster's followers in Hotland. They give us the most concrete information there is on Guster, confirming that he exists, that he was formerly the royal scientist, a position Alfie's now inhabits, and that he apparently created and then fell into the core. Who these strange so-called followers are in the first place is as much of a mystery as anything else. Destabilise reality even further and you'll come across a grey door in Waterfall. Opening it up reveals to us a sprite internally called Mystery Man, who opens their mouth and disappears if we attempt to talk to them. Many players speculate that this is what Guster looks like, though there's no confirmation if that's the case. continue to warp, alter and destroy reality to your pleasing, and you'll come across a sprite in Waterfall called Goner Kid. Depressingly, they describe to us a world where we never existed. Their grey coloration and meanderings on the concept of not existing is right in line with what the Guster followers say, so we can only assume that Goner Kid has some sort of relation to Guster. They're cheered up if you bring them an umbrella though, so that's something. An NPC that resembles a clam in Waterfall also only appears when we have a certain fun value, something that appears to be intrinsically linked to Guster. They mention their neighbour's daughter called Susie in yellow letters. While there's no immediately obvious link, could Susie be Goner Kid? If you return to them at the end of the game, they remark that you never met Susie, so they can't be Monster Kid. The river person who ferries you from zone to zone warns you to avoid the man who speaks in hands. There's no man like that, with the exception of Guster. For should we access room 264, we'll find this cryptic message written in Wingdings. Wingdings just so happen to use plenty of hands as substitutes for letters. A full translation reads entry number 17, dark, darker yet darker. The darkness keeps growing. The shadows cutting deeper. Photon readings negative. This next experiment seems very, very interesting. What do you two think? What the darkness, who the two being referred to are, and what the experiment is are all completely unknown. We can only endlessly speculate about Guster, and you know what? There's even more about this character hidden in the game. There's so much in fact that I'm going to have to make a video just for them. Though this time for one more piece of evidence. Of course, I've always wondered what's supposed to be behind this door. I swear I haven't seen anyone else talking about it, and you know, somehow it looks familiar. However, when I tried to... Well, that's it for today. Next episode we'll be doing a top 5 countdown about the biggest mysteries in Undertale, and Guster will make an appearance, a character with no real explanation. Wait, what do you mean I've already made it?